Hey, Michelle Cederberg here, talking today about how to find time for yourself, especially when you don't think you have time to find time for yourself. This is particularly important for you, dear healthcare aides, who are giving your time and energy day in and day out, not just when you're on the job taking care of everyone else and everything else, but when you go home at the end of the day and you're taking care of everything there as well. The caregiver in you probably means that you are constantly giving your energy outwards, and that needs to have a little bit of time to regenerate, to recharge, to give yourself self-care. Easier said than done, I understand that. We've only got 24 hours in a day, and it seems that we will spend the lion's share of our day at work and tending to things at home, the work part of the home life, if you will. I call those things obligations, and yes, they do take up the lion's share of our day, and because of that, we often get tired. So we finish our work and we say to ourselves, I really should get some exercise. I really should do some work on the things that I value with my hobbies or things around the house. But you say, I'm just too tired, so I'm just gonna sit on the sofa, or I'm just gonna relax and play my games, or whatever it might be. And I want to talk about taking time for yourself in two ways. Number one, to have that restorative downtime where you're giving yourself relaxation and the breaks that you need, but also health, taking care of your fitness, which I will be talking about more in tomorrow's video. So when you think about time for yourself, whatever it might be, whether it is for exercise, whether it is for doing things non-work related that you enjoy, or spending time with people, or spending time on other things that you want to work on outside of work, whatever those take time for yourself things are, how do you find that time? Number one, I want you to think about the ways that you are typically spending your day. And yes, I've already said that the lion's share of our day will be spent in obligation, in our work obligations. When our obligations are done, however, we would do well to start thinking about one or two things that we can do in the category that I call growth. And all the things that happen in growth are the things that are going to help us get ahead personally and professionally. It might be that course that you want to take. It might be the books that you want to read, or the hobbies that you want to do, or the exercise that you want to improve your health, the time that you want to spend doing things for fun and for leisure. Preparation, prevention, planning, true recreation, self-improvement, empowerment sounds like a wonderful place to spend time in growth. And yet, when our work days are done and we are tired, we will usually defer to one of two categories. The first one I call distraction and deception. And this is an area where we put all of the tasks that aren't necessarily important, but they're right here pushing up against us saying, pick me, pick me. It could be any number of low priority tasks that you have in front of you that you say, oh, I'll just get it out of the way while I'm working. I'll just get it out of the way. It could be emails. It could be distractions that other people are asking you to do. Anything that's not necessarily important to you, but you're saying it'll be quicker to just get it out of the way right now. I'm wondering if you can relate. It can also be other people's urgency becoming your emergency. You've got a bit of spare time for yourself, and then someone asks for your help. And as a caregiver, your default is more often than not going to be, of course I can help you. So those distraction and deception tasks we need to be aware of, because we can actually get by pretty well without them, or we can get by delaying them. Now, the other category is an interesting one. I call this category the waste category, and this is where we put all of those things that aren't necessarily going to help us get ahead. And it could be some television programs, a lot of television programs, Angry Birds, Candy Crush, any number of games that we have on our devices, our social media, all of the distractions that these devices push towards us. It can be some people, some emails, some phone calls, some meetings, anything that when you're in it, it doesn't feel like it's helping advance you as a human being. Most of us will tend to do that at the end of a tiring day. We'll just sit on the sofa and grab the remote and get into Netflix zombie land. Now, I'm not suggesting that we all get rid of these guilty pleasures, because we do all need to have those times when we're just sitting and staring into space. But we all know when we haven't taken time for ourselves for things that are meaningful. And so this is where I say, if there's things that you want to do for yourself, if there's things that will kind of fill up that take time for yourself box that's not sit in front of the television, what would that be? And can you spend a little less time in the waste category so that you can get a little bit more time for yourself? I want you to really think about that, because our ultimate goal is to take time for ourselves in activities that qualify as growth. So it can be your reading, or even taking a nap. It can be doing yoga or meditation or cooking or doing hobbies or things like that that are outside of the work realm, that are going to help fill us up and energize us for the work that we need to do the next day. We do all need to have those moments that are not related to work at all. It could be taking a hot bath. It could be just sitting and enjoying nature on your back deck, whatever it looks like for you. Now, one of the things that we need to do once we have figured out where we're spending our time is to say no to certain things. Billionaire investor Warren Buffett said the difference between successful people and very successful people is that very successful people say no to almost everything. And you might be thinking, well, Warren Buffett's a billionaire. He can say no because he can pay people to do all that he needs to get done. It may be true. But what I think he's suggesting is, if we want to improve our excellence, if you will, if we want to improve our health or do better in our work or some aspect of our life, then what we say yes to matters. What we say no to matters. If you say no, yes to something that isn't driving your heart forward with things that you want for yourself, then you're going to slow your progress. And so I challenge you to really think about, I often say, if it's not a heck yeah, then it should be a no. And I will say that if it's on your job description, you should probably say yes. I did not say just say no to anything that you don't want to do, because I know some days we don't want to do our job either. However, saying no with the things that we have choice over can be a really powerful way to help us regain a little bit more time for ourselves. Third step is to look at your calendar at the beginning of every week and say to yourself, where can I schedule in small efforts for myself? Small time chunks where I can take time for myself. And it might be 5 to 10 minute meditation every morning. It might be when you get home, I'm going to go and have a bath and just chill out for half an hour. It could be that when you get home, you're going to go for a walk or do a yoga class to shift gears from work into family life. Scheduling in those times for yourself is important, because if you don't, then obligation and other distractions will take you away from those moments, and then you'll be resentful. Schedule it in with as much importance as you would getting to your job every single day. Because if you don't schedule it in, then it gets pulled away by other priorities. And then when that time comes up for your little bit of restorative time, do it no matter what. Take that time, own that time. And you might be saying, well, I won't have time. But you don't know it. If you constantly give away those little moments that you've taken for yourself, then it's going to be so much harder to get them back. So start small if you need to. Schedule in little small self-care moments for yourself and put them in the schedule, like I said, and then do them with as much certainty as you would your job. Because if you don't take care of yourself, then the vessel will start to drain, and gosh knows the people around you need you to be energized and full of capacity to do the work that you do. There's a quote by Dennis Waitley that says that time is an equal opportunity employer. Each human being has the same number of hours and minutes every single day. Rich people can't buy more hours, scientists can't invent new minutes, and you can't save time to spend it on another day. Even so, time is amazingly fair and forgiving, and no matter how much time you've wasted in the past, success depends upon using it wisely by planning and setting priorities. I want you to think about the time that you have, and I'm hoping through this short message that you will choose to prioritize some of your waking hours in service to self by taking time for yourself for meaningful pause and relaxation and healthful practices, whatever that might look like for you. Until next time, my name is Michelle Cederberg, and I will see you tomorrow.